Hello, spooky crew. Our tote bag drawing is officially closed, and we just want to say a massive thank you to everyone who entered. We are so grateful for the love and the support, and we have loved reading your reviews. Missed the tote? No worries. We're still sending out high-quality vinyl stickers while supplies last. Just email us proof of your rating and review along with your mailing address to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, and we'll get one headed your way. Quick promise, your address is only for mailing the sticker. No emails, no selling info, no funny business, just spooky gratitude. Thanks again for supporting the show. You are the reason we do this.
You're listening to The Spooky Darlings, where three sisters like to get together for a cryptid crawl. And this time it is Maryland cryptids. All right, Nettie, I think you're bringing us in.
Yes, I am. Is this our 20th?
Oh, I think it might be our 20th. And we were all going to introduce ourselves. I know we get mad when we forget.
I'm Haley.
I never get mad. I'm Nettie.
I'm Emily.
And you always get me. I'm just kidding.
Okay.
No.
Excuse me, but I'm the most mad.
You are. Haley's the angriest because she's the youngest. It is the right of the youngest child to be the angriest child.
The youngest of five who wouldn't be mad about it.
Mad Haley.
We call her Madame Haley.
My secret way of cursing. My damn.
Haley's like, we're all like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. She's so little. She doesn't know how to say Madame. And Haley's like to herself, I'm swearing and they don't even know it.
Yep.
Cute.
Maryland, as you know, if you've done your research on Maryland cryptids, which I'm sure both of you have, is one of the most cryptid-dense states in the country.
I did not know.
And so in Frederick County, Maryland, you'll see on barns, especially old historic barns, that there are several seven-pointed stars. They're called a hexafuss in German, and they were really popular at the turn of the 20th century. People painted them on barns everywhere, and you can still see them today. Some people will paint them today kind of as like it's tradition, but there was actually a purpose for them back at the turn of the century. What do they mean? And why are they there? These seven-pointed stars are called a hexafuss, which translates to witch's foot. And I was like, seven-pointed stars? Like a hexagon. And so then I was Googling, is a hex related to the number seven? And it was like, no. A hexagon has 6 sides. But no, a hex has nothing to do with the number 7. And I was like, I know.
Duh.
I knew that, Google. Anyway, the seven-pointed star is called a hexafuss, translates to witch's foot, and it was a protection against a creature in Maryland. And as I said before, Maryland is really creature dense. There are as many as 19 documented cryptids in Maryland, which is a lot because Maryland is one of the smallest states in the U.S. But exactly what is this seven-pointed star protecting the people of Maryland from?
Hey, Nettie, wait. What is this seven-pointed star protecting the Maryland people from?
Enter the hold on, I want to pronounce it right. Snallygaster. Snallygaster. It's sna as in snap, li as in lick, and ga as in gh. So Snallygaster, which is not how I pronounced it because I was saying Snallygaster.
Oh, I'm so glad it sounds like she's coming closer to us.
Perfect.
Let me just let her know that
we're... talk to you through my headphones. I'm going to turn my light on so I can see.
Hey, Nat. We're podcasting. That's okay. Love you. You sound beautiful. So, what is she doing?
She's just turning on her light.
Perfect, Emily. That was so graceful. That's definitely a video clip to keep. Video clip to keep. Okay. All right. Snallygaster. Probably Maryland's most famous cryptid, and arguably darker and more complicated than almost any other cryptid in America, if not Maryland.
Okay, do you remember when I did the Snallygaster and it was like not to be confused with the Snallygaster?
I do remember.
Yes.
I do remember. And I actually saw a thing where it was like, what's the difference between a Snallygaster and a Snallygaster? And it said a Snallygaster was an uppity person. So the name itself, Snallygaster, comes from the German phrase Schnellergeist, which means quick ghost in German. And a lot of our ghost words come from German, like poltergeist, which means, who remembers?
Noisy ghost.
Loud ghost.
Rumble ghost.
Rumble ghost. I was gonna guess smelly ghost.
Oh, Schnellergaster or polter?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. No, it's quick ghost. But smelly ghost would be. There must be a German word.
Snallygaster. Smelly ghost.
Yeah, I see where you got it, and
Listen,
I wish it
Germany,
was smelly ghost.
we have notes.
Yeah.
So this folklore originated from the Amish people, and this I thought was really interesting. This is almost like a little aside. But in the article I read, it said from the Pennsylvania Dutch. So I was like, that's so funny because I always thought we call the language that the Amish people speak Pennsylvania Dutch. But I always thought the Amish people came from German heritage. So I looked it up and yes, they come from German heritage and Swiss heritage mostly. And the reason why they call it Pennsylvania Dutch is actually a misunderstanding of the word Deutsch, which is German for German. Like you say, Sprachen's die Deutsch, like, do you speak German? Mm-hmm. Or Deutschland is Germany in German. And so they think that the reason why they called it Pennsylvania Dutch is that the non-German Americans heard them say Deutsch and thought it was Dutch. But
come on, America.
From what I understand, there are actually no Amish people of Dutch descent. Oh, shoot. Dad's going to get so disappointed.
Dad is going to be so mad at you.
No, Dutch. Dutch is Holland.
All right. Okay, you're right. I said it right. The first time. I got nervous.
I'm nervous, too. I hope I am not wrong.
I'm nervous for all of us.
Me too. All the time.
Every day.
So this particular part of Maryland, Frederick County, Maryland, was settled by Germans. And they named this creature, who I'm going to describe for you in a minute, the Schnellergeist. And then as it was sort of like spoken quickly, people sort of heard it as Snallygaster. And so that's kind of what it turned to. Now, I'm going to tell you about it. The Snallygaster, it doesn't have like a constant clean description, but there are a lot of common things that reoccur each time. But it slightly shifts with every telling. But it is considered to be half bird, half reptile, with a metallic beak that's lined with razor-sharp teeth. It has enormous wings spanning the width of a barn. It does not say how big of a barn. A chicken barn, that's going to be smaller than like a, horse barn.
Chicken coop.
Yeah, chicken coop. Its claws are described as steel hooks. It has a single eye in the center of its head, which reminded me of, I think, a creature you did, Emily. Didn't you do some kind of dragon creature that had an eye in the middle of its head? Or did I?
Who can say?
Emily did it. I think it was Indiana.
Might have been. Indiana
I did the floating eye. Is that what you're talking about? Because that was the Sykesville Monster, but that was not in the center of any head.
Okay.
And then I think maybe you did the dragon.
I did some kind of dragon.
Yeah.
I can't remember but I don't know if it had a single eye. I can't remember. I'm going to have to go back and listen.
No, it had a glowing thing.
Oh, it did. It had a glowing horn.
Yeah.
It had two eyes, but it had a glowing horn in the middle of its head. I think you're right.
I did that.
You
Emily
did the glowing.
did that.
Oh.
I did the glowing horn.
Guys, have we really done
the same episode? You know what?
So
We're on number 20.
That
Give
was
us
the
a break, people.
No, wait, I'm sorry. That was not Crawfordsville. Crawfordsville
That's
was
okay.
the floating eye.
We're on 20, and we're doing 3
We're doing our
cryptids
best.
each episode. We're doing our best. Nettie, keep going.
All right. So, single eye in the center of its forehead. Now, this part is really creepy, and it's my favorite thing to see depicted in the art because there's so much artwork that, where people try to create the Snallygaster. It is said to have tentacles emerging from its mouth or face.
I don't like that.
Okay, this is one thing I thought was interesting. So I looked up, because this kind of originated in a place that was settled by German immigrants, I was like, well, I wonder if there was a similar cryptid in Germany that fits the same description that they almost brought over the tales of. And there's not, but there is a German cryptid called a Tatzelwurm, that is described as a dragon creature, which I think when you say half reptile, half bird, you're basically saying a dragon. They describe it as a small Asian dragon with a cat-like face. But then I was thinking about that, and I was like, cat-like face, almost like a catfish, which what would you call those things hanging off a catfish? They'd almost look like tentacles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Did I tell you the part about this thing having tentacles?
You did.
Out of its mouth?
Mouth.
Yes. Coming out of its mouth or face. See, there's like multiple reports. Like some said it's coming out of its mouth, some said it's coming out of its face.
Gross.
And later reports of the Snallygaster say that it has the ability to change its size, shape, and color. So it is also a shapeshifter.
Whoa.
And it is reported to be a blood drinker. So it's vampiric. It swoops down on victims and quickly gathers them up in its tentacles and drains their blood before carrying them off to the caves in the South Mountain Ridges of Frederick County. So it has a very unsettling physical description, and it doesn't sound like anything else that you've ever seen because it's not a bird. It's not a lizard. Is it a dragon? Maybe.
Or is it a skyfish?
Is it a chimera? Didn't you do something that was like
It's possible.
a chimera? It's kind of strange, but I'm going to tell you a little bit more about it, and you'll sort of see like maybe where this came from. So, 1909, there was these huge reports coming out of New Jersey of a creature called the Jersey Devil. I'm sure you've all heard of the Jersey Devil. He is featured on that vampire show we all love, the What We Do in the Shadows.
Jersey Shore.
My favorite cryptid, Snooki.
Oh, I love Snooki.
She's so cute.
What they found is that reports of the Jersey Devil got newspapers selling. And a lot of people think, like to this day, that the Jersey Devil was kind of like conjured up by the people trying to sell more newspapers just to have a headline to print because people were terrified and excited and they couldn't wait to go out and buy the next paper. And so because it was really around that time that reports of the Snallygaster came to be. Enter the Middletown Valley Register. The paper's circulation was dwindling. Its editor, named George C. Roderick, and his staff writer, Ralph Wolfe, along with a friend named Thomas Chalmers Harbach, who was an author. So he was a writer of over 650 nickel novels. So those were those like cheap, like fast-moving, quick little like book shots that people would write and sell just for a quick read. They are credited with manufacturing the Snallygaster story. So on February 12th, 1909, the very first story ran about the Snallygaster under the headline, Problematic. I want to give you a warning now. The headline was, The Colored People Are in Great Danger. And I'm going to talk more about this particular angle later on in the episode. So then, suddenly, all of these sightings started happening of the Snallygaster. There was a man named Bill Gifferson or Jefferson. I think it's Gifferson with a G. He is from Middletown, Maine, or Maryland, and he was allegedly seized by the creature, had his blood drained, and then was thrown off a cliff. Now, is it possible that Bill Jefferson was just thrown off a cliff and someone was and murdered, and someone was trying to place the blame on someone else? Maybe. The creature was described by the paper as having enormous wings, long pointed bill, 4 legs, armed with claws. Okay, in Sharpsburg, Maryland, a farmer claimed it roosted in his barn and laid a barrel-sized egg. Were there any witnesses to this egg? Not that I could find.
Exactly.
And then in Ohio, so this is not in Maryland, but with all the hubbub of the Snallygaster happening in Maryland, someone in Ohio said that they saw it flying overhead with its enormous wings, horns on its head, and a 20-foot-long tail. Somebody in Cumberland, Maryland, tried to shoo it away from his brick kiln, and it screamed at him. Okay, and the most unhinged detail in the entire legend, a man encountered the Snallygaster drinking from a 100-gallon tub of water. after which it exclaimed, "My, I'm dry. I haven't had a good drink since I was killed in the Battle of Chickamauga." There are also reports that Theodore Roosevelt said he was going to postpone a trip to Africa because Theodore Roosevelt famously went to Africa on safaris to hunt wild game. He wanted to postpone a safari to Africa where he was going to go hunt the Snallygaster. But there are no primary sources. That's all like secondary. Like even Theodore Roosevelt said he'd postpone his hunt. The Smithsonian Institution even investigated. So there was a group of Frederick County Railroad workers that allegedly battled the Snallygaster all together for over an hour before it finally fled away from these brave men into the Carroll County woodlands. And then the story died down.
Wait, did any of them shoot it?
It just says they battled it. So I'm thinking full-on wrestling in a mud pit.
Oh, dance off.
5,
Where
6,
was
7,
Macklemore?
8. Oh, yeah, I don't know. Maybe, who knows? Maybe this is Macklemore.
Wait, you said you were thinking it was a what kind of battle?
I said wrestling in a mud pit.
Wrestling.
And yes, I did. And you said dance battle, but I like yours better. Maybe a combo. So then reports died down. But in 1932, suddenly, 25 years later, it was revived because the Register reported the creature's hatchling, so remember the barrel-sized egg, was now terrorizing the county, this time with retractable tentacles. So remember the tentacles that came out of its mouth. This time they could be sucked up back into his beak.
Gross.
And shape-shifting abilities. Then the Snallygaster died. It died in December of 1932. It fell into a moonshine still in Washington County, and it drowned. Then the still was exploded with dynamite.
What?
Completely destroying any evidence of the corpse of the Snallygaster.
Or did someone's still just explode and they blamed it on the Snallygaster?
Well, and people are saying like it was so this was during Prohibition. So did the moonshiners blow up the still because the feds were onto them, or did the feds blow up the still because they were onto the moonshiners? And were they just like...
I thought you were going to say because they were onto the Snallygaster.
Snallygaster. Yes. Okay. Now I want to go back to that racist headline of the Snallygaster, the colored people are in great danger.
Wait, but don't you think, is it possible, do you remember how the Snallygaster was like drinking all that water out of the barrel? Do you think that it drank the moonshine out of the barrel thinking that it was water and just like drank too much and got drunk and then fell in and somehow combusted? I mean, isn't that possible?
It tried to light a cigarette because it was like, I'm drunk, I need a smoke.
The most plausible explanation I've heard so far. And there actually was a report of someone said that when they saw the Snallygaster, that they smelled it first, and it was the smell of alcohol.
Ooh.
They smelled it before it came, and it was the smell of alcohol. So that's actually a good question, Emily. Okay, so the dark side of the Snallygaster. We're going to pump the brakes and talk about what people now believe the Snallygaster actually was. Not an actual monster that people saw, but a deliberate tool of racial terror during the Jim Crow era. So,
I don't like it.
there is a librarian in Maryland named Susan Fair, and she was writing a book called Mysteries and Lore of Western Maryland, and she discovered something really interesting. The Snallygaster does not appear in South Mountain Magic, which is the definitive 1982 collection of Western Maryland folklore. No German immigrants actually told stories about it. So this idea that it was first spotted by the German immigrants, by like the Amish people, there's no proof of that. There's no proof that it was Snallygaster coming from Snallygeist. She couldn't actually find any records of this. No indigenous legends describing anything resembling it, which we often have like a crossover between what people have seen with cryptids and indigenous legends that also bring the same thing. It just did not exist. There are no reports of it before 1909.
Wow.
She purports that it was invented specifically by the editors of Middletown Valley Register to sell papers and to scare Black people away from coming and settling in that area.
Not cool, man.
So the very first headline was, "The colored people are in great danger." The article stated that the beast, quote, only attacks colored people since it was a native of Senegambia, where only colored people live, and so it has never acquired the taste for white persons.
Oh my gosh.
The creature's first named victim, Bill Gifferson, was described as a black man. Another report called the Snallygaster an omen of ill for colored voters who deserted the Republican Party in the presidential election. So used to sell papers, used to discourage black people from settling in Maryland, and used to try to control votes. So the timing of that first article, February 12th, 1909, is also the exact date that the NAACP was founded. Isn't that crazy?
Wow.
And at this time, black communities in Western Maryland had been gaining economic independence. They'd been gaining power. They'd been gaining traction despite Jim Crow restrictions. And in comes the Snallygaster, which was, as Susan Fair, she supposes that it was a white supremacist tool designed to keep black residents afraid and indoors.
Ugh.
But not everyone fell for it. Middletown area African-American resident Emmanuel Myers was quoted in 1909 saying he was more afraid of the, quote, Democratic Amendment, go devil this fall, than any monster. A sharp-pointed response. And then, when the creature made its revival in 1932, with the same racist messaging, another reader named R. Austin Stein wrote in a letter to the editor that anything that may have the effect of creating fear in the heart of any man, be he black or white, in my humble opinion, should be condemned. So people were onto him, onto it.
Good.
So now the Snallygaster in Maine is kind of just a local tale that's told. People sort of celebrate it. There's someone who is making a museum called the Snallygaster Museum of Maryland, where her purpose is actually to highlight the history, the troubled parts of it, and the kind of more fun parts of it, and just talk about the, kind of what it's meant for Maryland. There are beers named after it. There are breweries named after it. And it is also considered to have a mortal enemy known as the Dueo, which is another Maryland cryptid that I think probably you both sort of looked at.
No.
But the Dueo is kind of like a werewolf-type creature. And apparently they are enemies, ancient mortal enemies, which is weird because the Snallygaster didn't exist before 1909, but a local legend says that they have been locked in an eternal conflict in the mountains of Western Maryland.
Okay, fascinating. So at what point did the seven-pointed star become a symbol to protect against?
So my guess, this is a good question. My guess is that it was something that the German farmers and immigrants that were, farming there just had on their barns, and someone just decided to start telling people it was protection.
Right.
And I do think it was. I think that the seven-pointed star is called a hexafuss, which means witch's foot.
It's probably to protect you from witches,
and
though.
it was probably just a general protection symbol and not necessarily meant just for the Snallygaster. But then
People
in
will
the
latch
telling
on
of
to
it,
stuff, won't they?
Oh, they sure will. They sure will.
And why would you want to protect yourself from witches? We're so nice.
Well, no. You're protecting yourself from the Snallygaster. It was a witch's.
I said something earlier.
Oh, what'd you say?
I said protect yourself from witches.
Oh no, it's witch.
And then I responded to myself.
Oh, I think
Nobody
it was
heard me.
Well, I think that the symbols were witchcraft. I think it was actually a witch thing. It was like a witch spell. That's what I think. Because like a lot of witchcraft does come from German heritage and German folklore, and it wasn't considered like of the devil. It was just part of their culture and like their Germanic beliefs,
they wanted to, like, people wanted to take it away from women.
Yeah.
To like take away our power.
Yes, they do. So awful.
We have just too much. So nice try.
Yeah, nice try. We're gonna hang some hexafusses. I'm gonna paint one on my house.
You should.
Anyways, look them up. Actually, we can probably put some in our social. I can send you a picture of a hexafuss, Emily.
Oh, yeah. I'd love to put one on our social.
Who's going next?
Nice
Wait,
job
hold
with
on.
that.
Hold on, Nettie. That was so interesting.
Oh, thank you.
yeah.
Thank you. I was fascinated with it. I couldn't find any modern reports of people interacting with this Snallygaster. Unfortunately, I did check. No one's seen it recently. Wait, I did have something. Someone has an explanation. Blue heron with a squid in its mouth. Flying in the air. So that would be tentacles hanging down or some kind of prey in its mouth.
Yeah. A catfish.
Okay, so just a
Does catfish
bird,
live in
and then
Maryland?
the size was obviously
A big bird.
very
Yeah.
exaggerated.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which when I saw that, I was like, oh, yeah, I could see how the tentacles, how that could be a squid or like an octopus if they're by the ocean,
When you said
in
the
the mouth.
squid part, I actually looked up, like, can birds get that papillomavirus, kind of like the Wolpertinger gets?
yes.
And birds can get it, but I didn't find any images where it looks anything like tentacles coming out of a face. But who knows? I mean, that stuff can look crazy. Maybe it just, who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just imagining that the tentacles are like little hands. Like, wouldn't it be nice to just have hands right outside of your mouth so you didn't have to use these hands on your shoulders to feed yourself? You could actually do other stuff while you're little hands outside your mouth are just like shoving food in your mouth.
I
It would just be convenient.
not love that unless everybody had it. I think I'd be embarrassed if only I had it.
Well, no one wants you to just have it alone.
It would be everyone together.
Okay. Nice job, Nettie. That was so interesting. I've been wanting to know more about that ever since we had that tiny little brush with it in our
Previous
what state
episode.
was that? Yeah, it was like
Was it Arkansas?
it might have been
or
Arkansas.
like
No,
Arizona,
it wasn't
one of those.
Arkansas. It was somewhere in the south.
Maybe Arizona.
It might have been Connecticut.
though. Georgia, I think.
Yeah, could
I
have
think it
been
was
Georgia.
All right, Haley, do you want to go next or do you want me to go next?
Oh, I don't care. Either way. Mine is going to be super short, so wherever we want the super short one to be.
Mine's a little bit more medium to long, so do you want to go next?
Sure.
Make a little sandwich, cryptid sandwich.
I don't even know what you're doing.
I know. I didn't tell either of you because I
In true
just
Haley
decided
fashion.
today.
In true Haley fashion, we have no idea. It's probably not even a cryptid. We don't
You
know.
tell me.
Oh, I do. I did read something where someone said the Snallygaster couldn't be considered a cryptid, but it would be considered a fearsome creature.
You know.
And I was like, this seems a little like getting caught up in semantics.
We don't need to put ourselves in a box.
Just like the dad from Family Ties' son said in that song, there are blurred lines and something else that's problematic.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a very fuzzy line of demarcation.
For sure.
Problematic.
Well, you guys tell me if this is a cryptid.
Oh, well.
This is called Peeping Tom the Flickergeist, or the Blink Man, or the Tunnel Man, or Ilchester the Molester.
Yes, Haley, I saw a blip on this, and my mind, I was like, damn, I hope Haley picks this because this sounds fascinating. And I didn't read anything about it, so I'm so glad you did.
Good. I also was like, I bet you anything Haley's picking this. This has her all over it.
Yes.
It was like, Peeping Tom, I'm there.
So, rumor has it, if you stand at one entrance of the Ilchester Tunnel in Ellicott, Maryland, at midnight, and it has to be midnight, and you don't blink for 1 hour, Peeping Tom will appear at the other side. And once you see him, you cannot unsee him. After that, each time you blink, he comes one step closer.
Oh, shoot. I saw a made-for-TV movie that something like this happened.
Until he is nose to nose with you.
Oh, that's so scary.
Then he tickles you
Oh, that's the worst.
with his long eyelashes,
No, I hate it.
trying to force you to blink one more time.
Well, he won. I already did, and he's not even in front of me.
And if you blink, untold horrors happen. No one makes it out alive.
What if you just close your eyes and don't open them ever again?
Listen, I feel like I might as well not blink. I've got the driest eyes from perimenopause. Let's talk about it, ladies.
Wow. So, usually those who try and do this staring contest of doom are found dead from heart failure.
Okay, I just did 10 seconds of not blinking, and my eyes already hurt real bad.
You also didn't close your
I
mouth that
know.
whole 10 seconds.
Did you say dead from heart failure?
Well, neither of you were listening because you were doing a dumb staring contest when I'm talking about a staring contest from doom.
I
clearly-
heard you say from heart failure.
I heard that
Or were they scared to death?
too. Oh. Ooh. Well, is it the same? When you are scared to death, do you die from heart failure?
You're going to have to talk to a doctor about this. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
So, some say that the
ask my
Ilchester
doctor.
Tunnel is an interdimensional focal point, and by staring into its depths and completing the staring contest, one draws out the shadows that are trapped in the sides of our vision.
Oh.
The end.
Wait. Oh, okay. So this is like, what was the name of it again? Illergeist?
Flickergeist.
Flickergeist?
Don't forget, Peeping Tom the Flickergeist.
Peeping Tom, the Flickergeist. So if you're seeing like in your periphery someone coming or like a figure, which I constantly do,
Yeah, me too.
that is the Flickergeist?
I mean, it's just like one theory. It's like there's so many shadow people. So the Flickergeist is kind of like a cross between poltergeist, rumble ghost, and shadow people. And
Okay.
you take those two, boom, put them together. So like shadow people, there's all sorts of shadow people that live in your periphery. So
Sometimes
Yes.
the thing in your periphery is just a squirrel or a bird. Just
or
saying.
like one of the eye floaters.
Yeah.
Or a Flickergeist.
You know,
Yeah,
when I
or-
saw the name of that supposed cryptid from Maryland, I really thought it was going to have more Peeping Tom activities. I really thought he was going to try to be looking in windows at
Me too.
at young folks.
Do you guys want to know something funny? I did like check in with ChatGPT about this, and it was not even close to what this
Wow.
cryptid actually is.
Two stories in one episode, or was it the last episode where you tried something with ChatGPT and it was
Oh, that was in our FUF episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, our FUF episode. And they just worthless. So, I mean,
Yes,
listen, we're all
yeah.
learning too that it's terrible for the earth. Maybe we need to just ditch it.
Chill.
Let her
Ditch
go.
ditch the AI garbage.
I can really hear it in storytelling.
Yeah.
When people are I start to notice like little patterns.
Yeah. I have used it to like just give me some notes that I can then go expand on myself, and that has been helpful in the past, but I've just noticed lately
Yeah.
I've stopped using it. I even like took it off my phone, and then today, because I was on the Disney trip and like got back yesterday, and last night I spent time with my family, and then today I had a couple of appointments, and so I had like very limited amount of time to even prepare my segments, and so I was like, oh, ChatGPT, just like save me today. No,
Did not save you.
did not save.
It's like, I'll save you with nonsense and then you'll look like
Yeah.
an idiot. How about that?
And then I did think to myself really quick, I was like, what if I just go off with these notes? And I was like, no, I can't do it.
Can't do it.
And you're like, my source is.
Okay, well, I shall go now. I'm the last, and I get to tell you guys about the Sykesville Monster.
I can't wait.
Psych.
Okay.
Sykesville.
I've been waiting so long to say that.
Yes, you held it in. You nailed it. Okay, in 1972, a truck driver near Sykesville, Maryland, saw a strange, dark brown, hairy humanoid creature sitting down off the road. When it stood, though, it appeared to be 7 to 8 feet tall and caked with mud from the waist down.
Oh.
It ran into the woods. The witness preferred to remain anonymous. Nobody knows the name of this witness, but it is reported in every document that you find about the Sykesville encounters. He said that it could possibly have been a man on stilts, but he didn't say that with much conviction.
Right.
Muddy Buddy
Following,
stilts.
so that was 1972. And then following a July 1973 sighting of the same creature by a man named, or a young person named Anthony Dorsey, there were at least 20 additional reports. So 1972 and then later, summer 1973, 20 additional reports emerged within 2 months, including sightings of mud balls being hurled at cars by this creature, and even the creature attempting to enter homes.
Oh, yikes.
In
Scary.
1973, a woman living in a rural wooded area heard strange noises one night. She thought there was a prowler on her property, and when she went out to check things out, she saw a humanoid hairy creature that had entered her shed. So she went inside, called the police. The responding officer saw the creature too. It knocked him down before fleeing.
Oh my gosh.
And he said that it had incredible strength. So, of course, if you're a police officer and you get knocked down by something, you're going to be like, it was so strong, stronger, whatever. You're going to be like, but so he said it had incredible strength. According to some accounts, a police officer, and I don't know if it was the same police officer that responded to this woman's rural property or if it was another police officer, but some accounts said that, one account said that a police officer had been thrown 15 feet by the creature.
Holy
So,
cow.
like that's true. It is
Yeah.
a very strong creature.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
there were many reports to the police. Some people thought it was some kind of animal. Some thought it could possibly be an escaped psychiatric patient because Springfield Hospital was nearby. John Lutz, who was a wildlife tracker in the area, investigated at the time, and he said that the tracks that they found, and they did imprint the tracks and took photographs. He said that they were 14 inches long with 4 toes. The newspapers reported that they were 13 inches long and 7 inches wide, which is huge for a footprint.
Yeah.
It is not, so maybe John Lutz was exaggerating, but the newspapers reported 13 inches long, 7 inches wide. Yes, Haley?
I wonder if this Lutz guy is related to the Lutz family of Amityville horror lore.
Is Amityville near Sykesville, Maryland?
It's in the East Coast, Rhode Island.
Oh, let's write him a letter and
Okay,
ask.
thank you. Thank you.
So there are pictures of the tracks. I'll share them on our socials. So this rash of sightings near Sykesville and around Carroll County, Maryland, led to a huge local response and a coordinated search involving police, game wardens, zoo officials, and other investigators. So by 1973, these sightings had increased so much that it was causing this huge public response. At least at one point, a sighting led authorities to restrict access to one entire area of the town. So this was being taken very seriously.
Wow.
Locals tried to arrange their own hunt of the creature. Some wanted to shoot the thing. Others just wanted a picture. One of their planned outings ended up being thwarted by rainstorms. So this was all reported in a June 9th, 1973 issue of the newspaper called the Baltimore Afro-American, which I don't think is in print any longer, but that was the name of the printed newspaper.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
So, and there are, in articles, there are places where people will say, oh, the man from Afro came, and that's referring to this, this periodical, this in print at the time.
Okay.
And I think it was that newspaper was targeted toward the African American community. It reported more on news that was pertaining to the African American community. So anyway, just a little bit of context for that. But so reports from this period generally described a large bipedal hairy humanoid, often compared to a Bigfoot type creature, but it was said to be more human-like than Bigfoot. So it was a hairy body, but with a long and more human face. Some accounts said that it had glowing eyes. And I don't know if that means that the whites in contrast to the skin looked brighter or if they actually glowed. I didn't hear very much about this. I just saw one account that said that the
Were they
eyes were
from night?
glowing.
Were they from like nighttime sightings
And
or
I
daytime
didn't
sightings?
see information about what time of day that the glowing was reported. I just saw one place where it said that the eyes were described as glowing.
Wow.
Another witness estimated that this creature weighed like 265 pounds. That was his estimate. And it was very fast and it was very shy. So when it was spotted, it would very quickly retreat to the woods, but then sometimes it would approach houses or throw mud balls at cars.
Like, get out of here, car.
Doesn't sound like an orangutan.
It does not. So in response to the rumor that it could have been an escaped patient from the Springfield State Hospital, the superintendent of the hospital at the time, Dr. Fred Pokrass, said that no patients had escaped of note, and especially none with feet that size.
And especially none that were 8 feet tall.
Well, he specifically referred to the feet because that was something that they had.
Like measurable.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Wait, so it was...
But I'm just saying. Go ahead. I interrupted you.
Oh, no. I was just going to say it's 13 feet, 13 inches long, 7 inches wide. It's like almost half.
Yeah, and I know that, like, so I think a size, I don't know actually what shoe sizes are. Is a size 13 foot, is the size 13 shoe 13 inches?
I think so.
I would
have
According
any
to
idea.
myself.
I don't know.
That's
Listen,
what I would say.
this is not a shoe size podcast, but
Yeah.
if it is, I mean, I don't know.
Because if you translate it into European sizes, isn't it centimeters?
Yeah, so 13 centimeters. Wait, but they do
Yeah,
that in 30. So, okay, yeah.
Yeah, so it'd
you're
be
right.
like 30 something. So, yeah, I think it is inches.
Yeah.
I don't know. One could Google it if one
10
wanted.
inches?
So, okay, so and this is happening just in this one area near Sykesville, in this period between 1972 to 1973. But I will say that there were dozens of sightings of a Sasquatch type creature that didn't somehow make it into the list of sightings of this specific creature. There was a differentiation. I guess they were specifically saying that the face was more humanoid, but I would actually question that because there were dozens of sightings not far away in the same time period where people described something that looked like hairy and super tall.
But did it look like it was wearing stilts? These other sightings.
Well, so the truck driver said it could have been stilts, and I think that was his own. I mean, it was his own way of maybe justifying what he saw that didn't make sense within his paradigm. So, I mean, like just allowing for different explanations. That's kind of my understanding of it. So anyway, like it's not, that's kind of like the end of the sightings from that little period to 1973, aside from those other like dozens of sightings that happened like kind of nearby, just without as much specific detail. But in 1981, so this is 8 to 9 years later, a man named Lon Strickler was out fishing in the area, and he noticed a stray dog that was barking like furiously at something. And suddenly, a 7 to 8 foot hairy creature with what he called a Neanderthal face came out from the bushes. The dog attacked and the creature whacked the dog. He heard the dog yelp. And the creature ran away and the dog ran away. He said that he later saw the dog with blood coming from his mouth.
Poor
So
doggy.
he said that the creature was making a strange ticking sound that sounded almost mechanical.
Oh, kind of like Predator from the movie Predator.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder, was there an echolocation element or was this a robot?
Or was it a beetle?
He hopped in his car. I mean, he didn't have cell phones, at the time. So he hopped in his car and drove a few minutes to the nearest payphone he could find. He called the police, reported it to the police. He told them what he saw. They said they were skeptical on the phone. He felt like they didn't believe him. They said they would come out to check, though. But when he went back to the location to meet the police, he was surprised by the number of law enforcement officials that had been ready and prepared and descended on the scene. And he said that it was swarming with the police. Some of them looked like federal agents. There were black cars. They had already taped off the area, and he was told to leave immediately.
Oh,
and they
my
would not
gosh.
answer
Whoa.
any questions.
Our government is hiding stuff from us.
Yes.
So much.
Listen, as budding cryptozoologists, we definitely know this to be
And
true.
mermaids are
So
real.
he tried to follow up. Like, he tried to ask at the time. They told him to leave. He tried to follow up later with the police department, and he hit a wall. Like, they would not answer any questions. But multiple people described a total manhunt. There were helicopters, federal agents. There were dogs. Like, they were prepared, and they immediately and swiftly took action and swarmed this place. So there was even a curfew put on the town. And so in hindsight, Lon Strickler thinks that they must have been already tracking this thing during this whole time. Like, there's that gap between 1973 and the 1981 sightings that are reported and recorded. But maybe there was more, and maybe they were watching it this whole time. He thinks they were ready, and that's how they were able to so swiftly come when he gave them the tip.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
basically, he never got any answers from the police about anything after that. He
Right.
did go to a sketch artist and described what he saw, because he said he saw the face clearly.
Smart.
And
Do you have the sketch?
yes, I found
Yay!
I've got
Yay.
I've got the sketch. I mean, not the original, obviously. I found it online.
Let's frame it.
Purchased
So-
it.
It looked kind of like a Neanderthal, or as a Reddit user, get-r-done-idaho. As they said, this is
Oh.
exactly the face I saw on the Sasquatch I saw. I always described it as a Ron Perlman looking face. He's not wrong. Despite the police being actively involved in those investigations with multiple witnesses, in the early 70s and also in 1981, there are no publicly available police records concerning any of these events.
Are you serious?
It goes all the way to the top.
So, I mean, it was reported. Citizens of the town remember these events, and there's no police record.
Wow.
So the absence of the police records, or at least of public records, I mean, sometimes things are sealed and whatever.
Super sus.
But this has fueled some speculation ranging from either, bureaucratic mismanagement or bureaucratic loss to maybe possibly deliberate suppression.
Deliberate suppression is where I'm going.
Me too.
And I mentioned a man named John Lutz earlier. He's not the one who was fishing and saw the creature, but he was the one that was involved in
He's the one
helping
that's
hunt
related to the
earlier.
people from
Yes,
Amity.
that Haley
Yeah,
asked
from
about.
Amityville horror. Yep.
Yes. So
Just kidding. Not related that we know of. Maybe.
he claims this with such confidence that, like, I don't know. Anyway, but he claims that the Department of Defense tracks all Bigfoot sightings while simultaneously outright denying that they are tracking any Bigfoot sightings.
Also
I
now
believe
known
that.
as the Department of War.
Well, barf. So anyway, so John Lutz also wonders if Hurricane Agnes, which hit Maryland in 1972, possibly washed something ancient out of the mountains that then came down to encounter people of a time and place that it was not intended for. That was his kind of question that he posited. The monster has also been seen, or something like it has been seen, in Woodstock and Marriottsville, Maryland. So, what do you think? Is it a Bigfoot? Is it a Yeti? Is it a Sasquatch? Is it a Neanderthal? Is it
I think Neanderthal.
mental patient?
Oh, man.
And I do, if we want to have another story, I do have a story from a man on Reddit who lived
May as
in
well
the
tell it.
area
Go
at
ahead,
the time.
Yes.
Yeah, why
yes,
not?
please.
Okay, I hesitate because Nettie's falling asleep again.
I'm sorry. I just need to stand up. I've just been up till 2 or 3 and
I
then getting
know,
up at
you're so
5 a.m.
tired. I know you're so
I'm just gonna
tired.
stand up for
Do you
a
want to
minute.
just lay down and Haley and I got this the rest of it?
No, no.
Do you want me to just stroke
I'm
your
listening.
hair?
Okay.
That'll put me right to sleep. What are you doing? I'm just going to stand for a minute.
She
I'm
considered
just-
that for just
I'm really
a second.
fighting
I just
hard
want
to
to
not have
say.
a complex that you only fall asleep during my cryptids.
Oh, no. She was very sleepy during mine, too. Don't worry.
Sorry, I'm
okay.
just sleep deprived.
So, on the subreddit, Let's Not Meet.
Let's not meet?
Let's Not Meet.
L-E.
Oh, I was thinking it was Lutz,
No.
like the guy.
And then you were like, this is
No,
all
that would be too good.
And
But
that's how
no.
awake I am that I caught that.
Good job. Okay, on Let's Not Meet, Gingerman027 posted.
Ooh.
He said, I just discovered this sub and I have been reading your stories. Some are quite frightening. I have a tale from a long time ago I thought I would share. I think it belongs here. I hope I don't bore you. I'm now a 72-year-old man. This happened long ago, but I remember it so well. The background was a series of events that placed me in a mountain cabin outside of Frederick, Maryland, circa 1969 or 1970. Just say that my life at the time was in disarray. I had dropped out of college, my father had died very badly, and I was alienated. I needed to get my life right. I need to get my mind right. The opportunity to move to an isolated cabin to live in contemplation and solitude was welcome. I had some inheritance money to pay for it. To the best of my memory, I was there 8 to 9 months, no TV, but books and radio. I had a library
Actually,
card.
this sounds kind of dreamy.
I know, it does sound kind of amazing.
Yeah.
I had a library card, and I can't remember if I had a phone. The story begins when, a month into my stay, a female beagle showed up at my door. She was a lost dog, and I took her in. Never could train her to do anything, but I fed her, and she was sweet. She was a sweet, if not the brightest, dog. A few months in, I began to feel a presence around the isolated cabin. Hard to describe, but I felt like someone was watching. On many occasions, I thought someone might even be looking in my cabin window, watching us.
The Flickergeist.
He's only in a train tunnel.
Oh, okay.
The next phase was the shadowing or following. I knew the folks a half mile down the lane, woods all around, and would sometimes visit them at night. Something was waiting for me and followed closely in the woods beside me in the darkness. You could hear it easily, footsteps in the woods, and it picked up its pace as I did. This not only happened to me, but to my younger brother who visited, and to friends.
This reminds me of the Palmyra wolves.
Oh.
It
How
spooked
they
them
could feel something
big time.
pacing.
Yeah.
And you're sure about how they could tell something was pacing them exactly.
Yeah.
Like picking up the pace.
Yeah, no, it feels like that's got to be a really freaky feeling to feel like something's stalking you. Okay, so it spooked them big time. At night, it was out there around the cabin. Here's the funny thing. I was never afraid, never felt threatened, not at all, at least early on. There was no feeling of malevolence. I spent a good bit of time wandering the vast areas of the woodlands around me. There was a state park just up the hill, and the Frederick Municipal Forest went on for mile after mile. The whole of western Maryland was much more country than it is now. None of the development had set in yet. In our hikes, the dog and I, we came across evidence of campsites, recent ones in the woods. Traces of fires, old abandoned buildings that had corners that gave shelter and looked slept in. Garbage, food, drink, paper, what have you. Perhaps hunters, but much of it did not have the organized feel you would get from experienced hunters.
Yeah.
The last month of my stay there was when things intensified. Maybe he sensed I was preparing to leave. In the mornings, I would find small, dead animals at the bottom of the front porch steps.
Like a gift
The cabin...
or a threat?
Well,
Which one?
You don't know. The small front porch screened with a light door and 4 wooden steps to the ground. A spotlight would illuminate the long front yard with woods close by either side. Dead animals began to appear at the bottom of the steps, Dead animals began to appear at the bottom of the steps many mornings. I remember small birds, then a squirrel, a rabbit, even a weasel one day, like they were offerings.
Oh, wow.
I had to grab them up before the dog ate them. This went on almost daily for several weeks. And I will say, I've had neighborhood cats leave offerings before, like the bottom half of a squirrel. I mean, it's supposed to be like a friendly thing, right? So maybe that's what's so anyway.
It's like, you're welcome. I ate the head.
So one night, very late, I was awoken by some sound. I lay in bed hearing something from the porch. I hopped up and hit the lights and saw that hound dog who never learned to sit or stay standing at the front door in a perfect point position. She was shaking in fear. She never barked. I heard the door slam and footsteps down the steps.
Oh my gosh.
I hit the spotlight but saw nothing. I went out. He had been on the porch at my front door, maybe trying to enter.
Oh.
After that, I stayed in at night more and more. The animal offerings got bigger and bigger. Larger birds, a possum, a woodchuck.
Oh.
It wasn't funny. The final two gifts in quotes, were legs from either horses or cows. Big and bloody.
Oh, boy.
One was skinned. Holy shit.
Oh my gosh, this is so scary.
Boy.
The second to the last day, the dog left me. I could hear her in the woods howling on a trail, following a scent. I looked for her in every way I could. Came up in following weeks, but to no avail. She left as she came. I moved back to Maryland, suburbs of D.C., got an apartment with a friend, got a job, moved on with my life. One day, not long after, I picked up the Washington Post, and there was an article about recent encounters with the Sykesville Monster. It described a tall Yeti-like creature, fur covered on two legs, that would pick out a family or person and give them attention. I wasn't the only one. That attention described in the article was exactly what happened to me. Following you at night, looking inside the house, gifts, and so on. I was shocked.
Yeah.
If I had turned on the spotlight and seen a Bigfoot or Yeti, I might still be running. But I think now, I think I know who it was. Sykesville, Maryland was the location of the Springfield Hospital Center, a large state psychiatric hospital. It was 20 miles or so east of Frederick. Back then, many folks knew how to live in the woods. They grew up that way, country folks. I think the monster was an escaped patient or just a free schizophrenic who lived outside. This is like all the homeless you see in cities now, probably off his meds, but somehow functional and lonely. He would pick people or families to adopt. The camps in the woods could have been him. Nothing to do. He would make mischief. I think he liked me, but he sensed I was leaving. I can't prove any of this, just my theory. My monster was very much of that time and place, and his behavior was what I noticed in nearly every case then. I do not think he could have survived until the 1980s. Deinstitutionalization of mental hospitals threw the mentally ill out into the streets and took away the shelter of hospitals. I can't prove any of this, just my theory. My monster was very much of that time and place, and his behavior was what I noticed in nearly every case then. I do not think he could have survived until the 1980s. Deinstitutionalization of mental hospitals threw the mentally ill out into the streets and took away the shelter of hospitals. Unprotected, the mentally ill die.
Seriously.
Here are some interesting links. And then he linked 2 stories about the Sykesville Monster. So it's interesting that he's kind of in the same breath describing everything, but then also being like, no, it was probably just a mental patient. But I loved that, additional firsthand story.
It's a good story. It was well told.
Wow.
Yeah.
I do wonder, though, like, is a human capable of by himself taking a leg off of a cow and skinning it?
And like, it's so bloody, like.
And a weasel?
Yeah.
I guess it makes you wonder what tools they had. I mean, I don't know. I mean, the answer is yes, a human is capable of that with tools.
With tools.
Did you
But like, is the cow alive? Is the horse alive?
Probably not anymore.
But did you tell the thing where... But I do think there's a difference between a human face with a long face and a Neanderthal face, though. It's like there's humans that have long faces. You could say, wow, he has an oddly long face. But
I think
so many people are describing...
I don't think I said anything about a long face, but I did say like a more human type face.
Yeah.
But were you thinking long face because I said Ron Perlman?
I think I was thinking long face because I thought you said Neanderthal. And so that I was thinking long face.
Nettie, would you please say it Neanderthal?
Yes. Neanderthal. I don't know.
I mean, I mean, I'll share the pictures of the sketch from the sketch artist, and the really hilarious sketches from the news articles at the time that were like pretty funny.
I can't wait.
I want to see them.
Yeah, I'll share them.
I'm actually looking up Ron Perlman right now. I love him. I love him. He's so great. I wouldn't say he has a super, like when I think long face, I mean, he does kind of have a long face.
I
but was
just didn't
thinking
say
more
long
like,
face.
I don't know where I got that from. I think Neanderthal made me think long face. I somehow
Okay.
put it in my head. Sorry.
Well, I mean, you know what? You're fine. Here's the sketch.
Well.
He's kind of Frankenstein looking. Like not, no stitches and stuff, but just like this.
Which one are you looking at?
Well, I was looking at both of them. That one kind of makes me think of like a Frankenstein's monster, not Frankenstein.
It
but
just
Frankenstein's
reminds
monster.
me of like a child's sketch of their father.
This is what my dad looks like. And honestly, this one just looks like a really well-groomed orangutan. I'm just kidding. Oh, my husband's back.
Perfect.
Look at that.
Well, Emmy, that was really good. And I loved that extra story you found on Reddit. I love that personal bit.
That was awesome.
Oh,
And I think that I have it sounds so nice to me to like live up in the woods by myself and just have nothing. Like, I love the idea of like a media break and only being able to read books and journal and just, kind of like a short period of isolation. But I think I would be so terrified the first time I felt the presence of someone watching me. I would be back down that mountain, back into town. Or I'd be like, hey, sisters, come up and live in the mountains with me.
Oh, we're not already
You're
there?
like, come to my danger hole. What?
Come to my danger hole. It's a danger cabin, Emily.
Well,
Danger Valley.
Yeah,
That was
so
good.
That was
That's
really
loved
good.
Maryland. I saw dozens of other cryptids that I was so fascinated by. It was hard to choose just
Me
one.
too.
Like
Should we do
there's so much.
Should we do Maryland twice in a row?
we can always come back to Maryland for a 3D episode. I think like
Yeah, we
Ooh,
absolutely should.
once we get through our. I mean, whatever we want, we can come back to any states that we feel like we want to.
Yeah. This
Revisit.
is our podcast. We can do it how we wish.
Yeah, we can.
We could stop right now.
We make
And
the
I
rules.
think-
Forever.
And I think, you mean stop our episode or stop?
Yeah, we could just cut it like the end of The Sopranos.
We could turn this into a Secret Lives of Mormon Lives podcast today. Haley knows everything.
Yes.
I know all of it. It's all I've been doing on TikTok. So if anybody has any questions, please email us at
It would be such an easy change. We could just change it to the Secret Darlings.
I want to know who you follow. Oh, wait, we could be the Secret Darlings. Also, we are the 3Ds is the Deep Dive Darlings. We could deep dive anything we want. 3D
true.
episodes, Deep Dive Darlings, whatever we want to deep dive. We can do as many 3D episodes as we want.
I'm really glad we finally, on episode like 85, have clarified what the D stands for. 3 Deep Dive Darlings.
Deep Dive
We've
Darlings.
talked about it a few times, and it's a moving target in my understanding at this point.
Well, now he's living in his truck. What is this man up to?
Did you say he's living in his truck?
Leaving.
Maybe.
Oh, I
My
thought you said
husband.
living.
Left in the side by side, came back. He's home for 2 seconds, leaving in the truck. I just don't even know.
I'm hoping I can leave the saga of your husband leaving and coming back and leaving again in this episode.
We're going to have to revisit this next episode. Stay tuned to find out where Brent
Where
went. I
did he go?
simply cannot.
It turns out now he will be living in his truck.
Is he coming? Is he going? We don't know.
It's the solitude we all crave.
The truth is, I saw his truck leave. I don't know if it was him in it.
Yeah, it could have been going on its own.
Could have been
Who
one
knows?
of your children.
Could have been driving itself. Doubt it, but yeah. Well, thanks for listening, everybody.
Yeah.
Want me to close this out?
Sure.
Thanks so much for listening. Once again, we are the Spooky Darlings. If you have any interesting cryptid stories that you'd like to share with us, our next state is Massachusetts. Right?
You nailed it.
Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts. Yep, Massachusetts is our next state. So if you have any specific Massachusetts cryptids, we would love some suggestions. We'll be doing that one in our
Email
next
us at
Cryptid Crawl.
thespookydarlings@gmail.com.
That's right. And we'll take any stories, any creepy stories, any fun stories, anything that just popped into your mind. Like, I want to share this with you. Also, you can message us and tell us stories on our socials, which is the Spooky Darlings Podcast on Instagram and TikTok and YouTube. Leave us a rating and review, please.
And if you pronounce Massachusetts like Nettie does, which is Massachusetts, you can also send us your stories.
Yeah.
Do your friends make fun of you? Do your sisters make fun of you?
Were you in Massachusetts and the Massachusettsians gave you a hard time about the way you pronounced their state?
Did that happen to you?
No, I've never been there.
Okay.
Not yet.
Well-
I don't want to go until I can nail this
You haven't been to Boston?
She's very silent. Okay, so we're going to officially close out the episode.
Oh, yeah.
Goodbye.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Goodbye.
Bye.
5 stars. Okay, how does this rap go?
I crawl up on the ground like a slimy little slug, and all of these kids I'm beginning to bug. I give lots of stories and there's lots to tell, but the kids don't want to listen. But what the hello back there? Are you paying attention? This man's trying to tell us about his invention. So let's all load up on the buses, please, so we can dine on moldy cheese. We need our energy. We're waking it dawn, so we can travel to Mount Vernon, Philadelphia, New York, and Washington, D.C. We'll stop once or twice to take a pee break. That's it. So no, Boston's not in there.
Oh, then
You
for
didn't
sure
go to
didn't
Massachusetts.
I didn't think so. Philadelphia?
Unless
I
your,
why I couldn't just
unless
do
your
the
pee
end.
break was in Boston, it could have been.
Before we disappear into the shadows, don't forget, we're still sending out vinyl stickers. Leave us a rating and review and email us proof to thespookydarlings@gmail.com, along with your mailing address, and we'll send you some spooky snail mail while supplies last. And if your heart is still mourning that tote bag, may we gently tempt your way toward our merch store at thespookydarlings.printful.me. Treat yourself. You deserve it. Thanks for listening. And as always, stay spooky.